introing?
No, I do it every time.
Dude, you have a good voice, man.
You have the same fucking voice.
The same fucking voice.
Yeah. I should know.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin with the Jujitsu podcast. We have
Chris.
and we have Pitt.
Pitt. He's
Can we say your first name? You just want to go by Pitt?
I'll go with Pitt.
He's the second coolest Pitt I know, Brad being the first.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen
I
his
know.
movies.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
sure that checks
seen a
out.
few movies.
I'm sure that checks out.
Yeah, when I first met you and you said your name was Pitt, I was like, there's no fucking way this dude's real name is Pitt. But
Did you did you ever get made fun of, like, saying, you smell like an armpit?
that was so stupid.
I'm sure. Yeah. Did you beat the shit out of him?
No.
Is it
I own it.
is it just because, like, of the military? Just
Yeah.
so used to going by it?
Yeah.
So how long were you in the military?
6.5 years.
How did you served overseas, right? I don't know the proper term.
No,
how,
yeah,
many,
I deployed.
how many times?
I said it correctly when I was talking to him earlier.
Oh,
I asked him if he had been deployed.
Either way, it's correct, you know. So I was in Baghdad for 14 months.
Dang.
At one time?
Yeah. One deployment.
Aren't there certain groups in the military, like, I guess, like, because I've heard Jocko's podcast, like, Navy SEALs usually only get deployed for, like, 3 to 6 months at a time, but, like,
Yeah.
Army is different?
No, so it just depends on who you're with. There are certain groups in the Army that'll deploy like a small team, and they'll do that, 3 to 6 month thing. I know the Rangers are on that 3 to 6. The Marines, their normal tour is like 7 months, I believe. But yeah.
So what was that experience like being... Had you been out of the country before that?
No, that was the first time.
First time
Going to
in
war.
Baghdad.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
How crazy was it out there?
I mean, I get asked that question a lot. Like, what was it like? But, like, I'm not a poet, and and I don't write horror stories. So
Yeah.
there's no possible way to condense it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, every range of emotion you could want was in that 14 months. So.
And probably not want to, right?
Yeah.
So did you start training jiu-jitsu before the military?
No. So I first got introduced to Jiu-Jitsu. Let me see. This is 2005. After basic training, I get to Alaska, and the Army's got this program called Modern Army Combatives Program, and it was created by Horian and Hoyler and those brothers out there, the Gracie Academy guys. And so it's like a week-long thing where you learn all the basics of what you would want to know going forward through Jiu-Jitsu. So it's a week-long thing. It's about 6 hours a day. And at the end of it, you have 4 rounds of getting punched in the face.
I've seen videos of it.
Yeah.
But you're wearing headgear, right, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, maybe
What
in
about
the video.
gloves, though?
No. So you have one puncher, which is one of the instructors, and then you have the student. And so your job as a student is to close with and clinch. And that's where it stops. You have 4 rounds of that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So
all
that
you
was
can do
your
is
first introduction to grappling?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about the Gracies or anything like that before? Like,
Yeah, I've got 2 older brothers. Sorry.
you crying?
These fucking allergies are killing me. No, yeah, I've got 2 older brothers, and I remember right after the first UFCs, they watched them, of course, and they beat me up or whatever because I'm the youngest, and they're like, "Oh, it's Gracie," and then like karate chop me to the face and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Judo chop.
exactly. Just that dumb shit, and so yeah.
So when you were doing the combative sauce, you said 6 hours. Is it just like drill after drill after drill after drill, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much set up like 5 seminars, right? So they'll go over positions, you learn a few submissions, and then they're like, all right, well now we're in this spot. They'll go over a little bit of philosophy about fighting and shit like that. What I mean by that is, so their philosophy in the Modern Army Combatives is the guy that wins in a fight is the guy whose buddies show up with guns, right? So your job is to survive until that point, right? So
when you're learning when you're in the grappling situations, is it in mind that you have a firearm or no?
Not at level 1.
Oh, okay.
But level 2 and level 3, they introduce weapons.
And it's just taught by an army instructor? There's not like a jiu-jitsu guy there, like a black belt?
So now it probably is just an army dude. But when I went through it, the head guy for Alaska, his name was Ted Stickle. He was a Gracie Baja black belt.
Oh, okay.
I heard he was a real stickler.
That's an idiot.
Oh, yeah. But no, yeah, he would oversee the program.
Do you use like pant grips like you would in the gi and stuff like that?
But you have gis, right?
We're in full BDUs.
Okay.
So, I mean, same grips that would apply.
Does that stand for badass deployment uniform?
Yeah, pretty much. Battle dress uniform.
Oh, okay.
Now they're in ACUs or whatever the hell the multicam is. But yeah, when I went through, we were still Green Army.
So you're doing collar grips and all that stuff?
Yeah, that's one of the submissions you learn is a cross collar choke.
Cool. So you started training while you were still in the military? Did you find a gym? What gym was it?
Oh, no. So are you talking about after that program?
Yeah. Like when you actually went to a jiu-jitsu school your first time.
Well, I would visit Gracie Baja in Anchorage, Alaska, here and there. But after deployment, I was going to move on to another duty station, which is in New York. And so that time in between, my brigade had deployed. So they're like, all right, you're going over to the combative gym. And that's where I worked for like 7 months. I'd show up at noon in board shorts and a t-shirt. And that's all I did. It was awesome.
You just trained?
Essentially.
And like cleaned and shit like that? Yeah. That's cool.
I mean...
Did you help instruct at all?
No.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is like 2 years after I went to that program. I didn't really do much grappling in that in-between time. And then when I got to the combative gym, there wasn't a lot to do, and so the staff sergeant that was over it. He was like, hey, go do that. And so what I mean by that is Gracie Baja would send an instructor over 2 days a week and train us. He was a purple belt. And so I just took the classes and they were free, right there. And then the other 2 days of the week, there was a Air Force major who was a judo black belt and a sambo guy, and he would instruct 2 days a week. And so that's pretty much what I did.
Would he throw someone and just go, Air Force?
You know what? We didn't do a lot of judo.
Really?
It was more sambo ground fighting stuff.
Were you so you were trained in like shorts and a shirt or in your BDUs at that time?
No, yeah, board shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like my first, I'd say, like legit, deep dive into jiu-jitsu, it was all no-gi for maybe 5 months. And then I got a gi. And then so.
Is that why you struggle with the gi?
Says who? Who says this? Let me write their name down.
Do you have a preference? Do you like no-gi better than gi?
I used to hate the gi, but really I like gi a lot better now.
Well, is there a reason why?
I don't
like
know.
It? No.
I don't. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I prefer it.
Yeah.
There's more options probably. I'm sure once you like do no-gi for a while, it's probably just like, I don't know. They're both cool. They're both cool.
Great input, dude.
Yeah, thank you. I've been thinking about this for a long
You've
time.
added so much to this conversation.
I think I like no-gi more now just because I've trained in the gi for so long. It just feels like a new
I think that's how
it
goes like both ways.
I wish we had more no-gi at our gym, to be honest. I mean, I guess there's 2 days a week, but I don't. I mean, one of them's a lunch class, so if you can't make that, then you only get 1 day a week. So
I mean, you're going through the ICP. You could teach it.
Yeah. True.
If you added another day, right?
Yeah, true.
Someone said, what is it? We're doing Wednesdays?
To be honest, I'm pretty behind on the ICP right now.
It's just started.
Yeah, I think we're on week 5, and I've done 2 weeks. Dude, it's long, man.
Yeah.
And
Are you doing it too?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a subject for another time.
Why?
It's just, I mean, dude, in my opinion, I think if you're getting your black belt and your goal is to open a Gracie Baja school, I understand the requirement to have to take it. But I don't think that everybody should have, I mean, because...
It's good. I think there's some parts of it that are good that can teach you how to teach and like just different.
Well, I haven't
rules.
gotten to that stuff.
What is it?
So, and it's, I mean, because you took it, right? When you were like a blue
A
belt?
long time ago. I'm sure it's... I don't really remember. I was smoking a lot of weed during that time.
So, well, maybe that's what I should do to improve my experience. But the first two lessons so far have just been like Gracie Baja history, I guess. And dude, it's very, in my opinion, it's very repetitive, and a lot of the information could be condensed. It feels like they're constantly feeding you the same.
And remember, at Gracie Baja,
defend the red shield. But I don't know. I've always been a rebel, so
remember, if you see Half Gracie, you
Still
turn
recording.
the other way.
yeah. Thanks,
missed my-
podcast expert.
You guys missed my
over
joke, dude.
What? Say it again. Half Gracie.
If you see Half Gracie, turn and go the other way as quickly as possible. Thanks for joining us at the ICB.
I said we turned on Worlds for Mina's match at the gym, and I was like, dude, what if we just see Half Gracie in disguise sitting in the stands
With a big nose
giant
and
mustache?
glasses.
Yeah.
How did Mina do?
She did good. I mean, she lost. She fought, the girl she fought ended up winning
and
the
arrow?
whole division. Huh?
Is it bow and arrow?
Yeah, she got submitted.
Was it the AOJ girl?
Yeah.
Like the
Or Atos. I mean, same thing,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, she did good. I mean, she got put in a real bad position at the beginning and then recovered guard. And she did good. I think she just made some mistakes, some simple mistakes. But anyways, so was your first experience at an actual jiu-jitsu gym at a Gracie Baja
Yeah.
in Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the instructor there?
Ted Stickle.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was. I mean, this is.
the guy that was a stickler.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that?
I remember.
I mean, this is 2008. He's since moved on from there. But yeah, Ted Stickle and Patrick Applegate, who's a black belt now. Anyway, from there, I moved to Fort Drum, New York, and that's in Watertown. It's like upstate New York, and I was at a Helson Gracie school owned by one of the competitors on Ultimate Fighter season, and who else? Was it Phil Migler-Reese? Was the main professor. Not Phil Migler-Reese, one of his black belts was the main professor, and so that was fun. But I mean, for whatever reason, I had the best setup, and I never went, right? So they're like, if you want to help with kids classes, you can train for free. I was like, awesome, and I'd go for like a month and then not show up for like 6 months. It was bad.
Why?
I have no idea.
Were you partying and stuff?
No,
Really?
I don't know why, but I mean, it was a great setup. They were super awesome. It was a cool school, just very inconsistent.
How much? So you've been training. I mean, essentially, you started jiu-jitsu 10 years ago. How much like actual training time in that 10 years do you think you've had?
I'll say this past year has been really consistent for me. Maybe 2 years.
All like collectively.
Yeah, I would say so.
I remember when I first met you, your white belt looked like it was 10 years old. I was like, this dude's belt is raggedy.
Yeah.
And then I roll with you, and I was like, no, this guy should be a blue belt, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're training on and off, it's hard. But professors won't promote you because
Yep.
you're new to their school and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I do drop-ins here and there, like whenever I'd come in on leave. It used to be if you were active duty military, you could train at National MMA for free. So I would train there. I would train at Perfectus when they were Brentwood BJJ 10 years ago.
How long is that?
Road.
Oh, they were at a different location. How long has that school been around?
For a while.
A long
I think
time.
so, yeah. Because
Yeah, Jeremy was a black belt back then. So
he was even. Yeah, he's been a black belt for a long time.
He's
like 10
under
years, I think. Almost.
Carlson.
no,
No.
Luis Palhares.
Oh yeah. I'm an idiot. I don't know why. I said
But he
that.
was part of Nashville MMA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like all of them were. Ray Casillas was like they were all under Sean.
Well, they were all under Eric Silver
Oh, okay.
at first.
Who's Eric Silver?
Eric Silver is a Hickson Gracie black belt.
Okay.
He has a school in downtown Nashville.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
What is it called?
Zanshin Dojo.
Yeah, it's like
Never
a
heard of
small. I mean, I don't know if it's small, but I know I've driven past it before, and I was like, "What? That's weird."
Yeah.
I've heard
That's funny, and he's like the OG.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
He's the Nashville OG.
Wow.
like the first black belt in
He's
Nashville.
been a black belt since like late 90s, probably mid 90s
That's crazy.
under Hickson.
I've never even heard of him. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And so, yeah, all the Sean and Ray and I guess Ed Clay and whatnot, they all came from Eric.
So what was the jiu-jitsu scene like back then? Like when you first, like in 2009, was it a lot smaller?
I mean, I was in Alaska, so...
Well, I guess
Talking
when
about
you would
everything.
come drop in here in Nashville.
Oh, no. I mean, so
They
Nashville
still had a
MMA...
big program.
Yeah, Nashville MMA, they were at the warehouse over by 100 Oaks. They had moved from 100 Oaks Mall to, a couple miles down the street to the giant fucking warehouse. Because at the time, Ed Clay also owned Gameness, right? So it was like half of the warehouse was Gameness stuff, and the other half was just a giant training facility.
It's so crazy to
It was
think
huge.
Gameness was out of Nashville. That's
Yeah.
weird.
It was like the biggest, one
Yeah,
of
it
the
was
biggest
huge.
brands.
It was
They
huge.
still going? It's still going.
Yeah.
You know,
Does
we got
Ed Clay
bought up.
still run it?
No, he
Oh.
sold it. I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, something like that.
He started doing like ayahuasca and shit or something.
Ibogaine.
Like that. Ibogaine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
because
got
he
a-
was like a drug addict.
Well, yeah, he had his stories like a lot of Americans. He was in a car wreck. Doctors prescribed him opioids, and I mean that's the way a lot of it happens these days. And he was definitely caught up in that, but he took ibogaine, and now he's got his own recovery center down in
Oh,
Mexico.
that's cool.
Because Joe Rogan's talked about him on his
Oh, really?
podcast. Yeah,
Does he train? Still?
he did.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm on his Instagram, but that's why I'll never see him in a gi.
So have you trained, like, at any other places besides Alaska and Tennessee and New York? Any other experiences at gyms?
No,
No.
that's about it. Yeah.
Do you feel like someone who's like been deployed and experienced all that? Do you think jiu-jitsu helps with like the mental health aspect of it all?
I could say with 100% certainty it does.
Yeah.
So, like, when I started working at the Combative Gym in Alaska, this was right after my deployment, right? And mentally, I wasn't in the best place, right? And so I couldn't be more fortunate. I mean, to have found Jiu-Jitsu at that time. I really feel like, it saved my life in a lot of ways. There's this practice now, they call it mindfulness, right? A lot of people call it meditation or whatever, but so it's not always about sitting quietly, clearing your mind and doing your ohms and shit like that. For me,
Doing your ohms.
yeah,
Um,
right. That's not, as someone who chose that profession, knowing that we were already in a war, right? That doing that shit's not gonna work for me. Okay. So when I've got another grown man trying to fucking strangle me unconscious or break my limbs, you really can't think of anything other than that, right? So it taught me how to be present, right, and really focus, and I'm very grateful for that.
It's awesome.
Do you think there's part of it too that's like the adrenaline? Like a lot of times like police officers and stuff can get addicted to like that adrenaline of those like high intense situations, and like in jiu-jitsu obviously they're not the same, but it can trigger some of that like feeling, the adrenaline feeling if you're like in a fight.
What do you mean?
So like I feel like law enforcement or like military, like you're in those certain situations that cause a lot of adrenaline, like a combat situation. And then when you go to jiu-jitsu or like do something like that, sparring can also like, you can get, sometimes people end up craving that or needing that adrenaline to like feel alive and feel something. Is there any of that there, you think, with you? Or
that would be, individual. For me, no. That's not what I wanted out of jiu-jitsu. That's not what I seek.
Right.
So that's not really what I get out of jiu-jitsu. You're talking about addiction. I mean, that's person to person.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own. Some guys can drink a couple of beers and be fine and not drink for a long time. Some guys just can't hold on to it. So
and your addiction is you're addicted to Berimbolo. That's your addiction.
Yes.
Hate to break the conversation, but I thought of a pretty good joke when you were just talking. What is an electrician? How does an electrician meditate?
I'm sure someone that's been said before.
Man, I complete. So you've competed how many times now?
Twice.
What was your first competition like?
First competition was awesome.
Why? Why?
Because I won. Yeah.
You had 2 fights, right?
Just one.
Oh, just one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was there. Did you submit the guy?
Yes.
Yeah. What was the feeling like? Did you rip your gi open and smack your chest? Did he?
Yeah.
No.
Recently, Pitt's been having some issues with blue belts that win at Worlds and open their gi.
Why
elaborate on that?
Because it pisses you off or something?
You're a fucking blue belt, okay? Like, I get it. It's lots of hard work. It's definitely, you can be proud of it. But for God's sake, you'd think that they had just beat Buchecha. The way these guys are fucking celebrating this shit, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That's just me
So,
personally.
I've done that before where I had a competition. I was like, oh, and I like slammed the mat or like something. But
I did that at an in-house
like,
tournament.
Yeah, but then I realized I was
At
like,
a kid's in-house
yeah, exactly. That's douchey.
I fought Flavio and I beat him, and like when I was done, I smacked the mat. But then I would realize how stupid it was.
Yeah, I did the same thing when it was against Bob. Our own teammate, like a guy, he trained at a different school, but he's like a teammate, and I beat him, and
So me and you we were texting the other day, and we had a little disagreement. So, I, in my opinion, I think like blue belts now are on a different level than they were 10 years ago. But I did not train 10 years ago. You did. So you think that you disagree with me. Why do you think that back then blue belts were on a different level?
I don't.
Okay, so then why did you disagree?
I don't. I disagree with you, what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what did you disagree?
I don't think I mean, yes, there's been innovations, but as far as drive, I keep sounding like a 13-year-old
You're
here.
going to cry.
I don't think there's too much difference in the competition.
Man, I just feel like watching like people who blue belts that win gold, like specifically.
there's blue belts that are winning worlds right now that would have beat a lot of black belts back in the day.
That's how I feel.
100%.
That was also true 10 years ago.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, no matter what, especially the competitive scene, it's hard to use that as like a baseline of like, because most of those people should be, quote unquote, should be like higher belts, and yeah. And someone on Reddit recently I was looking at the threads for this world, which is going on right now, and everyone was like, man, some of these purple belts look like they're on juice, and someone's like, some of them, all of them, everyone that's winning is on something, dude.
Well, that's what me and someone were talking about the other day. Is like, dude, if you're, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that are clean, but like, dude, if you're if you're a competitive jiu-jitsu athlete, the amount of training you have to do, dude, you have to be on something, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that doesn't take away from the accomplishment.
I don't. Well,
I agree. I agree.
That's been a kind of a battle in my head because I've been wanting to get my testosterone checked because in my head, there's no doubt it's low because of my weight issues. I mean, I was fat all growing up, and being fat lowers your testosterone, raises your estrogen, and, you know, I'll train hard one day and feel like a fucking wreck the next day. I still go and train, but I feel like, I'm like, dude, if I, even just training in the gym, not competing, if I start taking testosterone, am I cheating? You know, and I don't know. It's just kind of like an inner dilemma.
I think there's a difference between being on low, like the TRT thing, like being on, having low testosterone and taking it because you medically need it, as opposed to you're just injecting yourself with steroids or testosterone just for the fact that you want to train more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Have you ever
But have you had it
checked?
checked?
No, not yet. Because
Maybe start there.
yeah, you're right. There's just, I mean, there's been a couple reasons.
Jiu-Jitsu's weird, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that Danaher blue belt right now who just won the ADCC trials on the West Coast, and he just won at Polaris against a brown belt. You know, because he's an amazing.
He's been training 8 months, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah.
What?
Have you ever heard of this guy?
he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's an absolute monster, and he's just killing people.
Did he have wrestling experience?
Yeah, he was a D3 wrestler. But yeah, I mean, 8 months, and he's one of the best in the world now.
That's crazy.
So
Were you going to connect that with steroids?
I should.
Yeah, I don't. And
But no, I, you know, he's there every day training. I'm not. So what can I say about that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a tricky subject because just because you're on steroids doesn't mean that you didn't put in the work, you know. I mean, you're still training the hours that you're training. It just helps with recovery and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's still giving you the advantage to train more than someone who's not on it. I mean, that's the issue. Like, it's not taken away from, they train those hours of respect. Like, that's, you made sacrifices to do that, but you're also doing something that's allowing you to do it.
I mean, you know, those guys are willing to do something that we're not. We're not, so.
What, steroids or training?
Both?
No, compete at that level.
Oh, okay.
They would make sacrifices that we can't or won't. Don't, yeah. So, I don't think that takes away from the accomplishment. I do have an issue. Well, I mean, when you talk about PEDs, my issue is when it could permanently damage your opponent, right? So if you look at maybe
like MMA or something,
any kind of pugilistic sport.
Yo, you just dropped a fucking word that I ain't never heard of, dude.
Any kind of fighting sport, right? Kickboxing.
Say that word again.
Pugilistic.
Yeah.
Did you learn that in the Army?
No.
Ha ha.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, Jujitsu is just not one of those sports. It's, you know.
Yeah, most of the time people are letting go of submissions, and if someone's getting hurt from a submission, it's because they're not tapping, not the other way around.
Or they fake it, like.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Urbos or
Urbos Santos?
Yes.
Urbos.
God.
He's so whack.
So many pictures on the podium from Worlds I was looking at, and so many people had their arms slinged up with their belt and ice on their arms from not tapping. Oh, dude, so many.
Yeah.
But those are Hill.
Do you know who Muhammad Ali is?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, we were at the airport leaving from Pan Am's. I didn't know who it was.
Oh, yeah.
But
I fucking cut everybody.
Bro, he cut the line like 4 times and nobody said jack shit.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. He has giant cauliflower ears. And I saw him, I was like, okay, he
definitely
was competing at Worlds. And then he just kept cutting. And then, you know, a few weeks later, I saw one of his matches. I was like, oh, that's that motherfucker that was cutting. Hell no, I'm not saying nothing, dude. No one else was going to either.
Yeah, that's like one of Lord Overton's guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a badass.
So how long have you been training at Gracie Baja Franklin?
12 months.
Oh, it's only been a year, dude?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Seems like it's been longer.
Dude, you know we started the podcast a year ago, almost,
Really?
in July.
Way to make it about us.
Well, it just made me think. Well,
No, yeah, you're right.
Because I was thinking too of like, well, I thought you've been training at Franklin longer because I remember Chris being like, my new boyfriend Pitt. But yeah, that's why I was thinking about like the timeline of everything.
So, how did you feel? What emotions you felt when you got your blue belt after training for so long, on and off? How did it feel? Were you happy with it? Disappointed with it? Because everyone has different feelings about when they get promoted. I'm always disappointed.
Well, I was relieved mainly because so I was in a gi for a month and I got promoted to 4-stripe white belt. So
when you first came, what do you mean? At our gym or it's in another gym?
In Alaska.
Okay.
I was in a gi for a month. Yeah. Right? I did all that no gi time.
And they just gave you 4 stripes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so yeah, I was a 4-stripe white belt for 10 fucking years.
That's crazy.
Okay. So I was relieved. And there was also a bit of pressure with that as well. You know, I'm sure you guys also felt that when you get promoted. But it's, you know, you could be as good as you want as a white belt. You know, there's not really any expectations on it. You could be as good or as bad, you know. But I guess it's what do they call it? Like the pressure to defend the belt, you know, that you were given. So yeah, you know, be an example. You know, you have some sort of technical ability at that point. So yeah.
Did you feel like once you got your blue belt, people were trying to, like, you had a target on your back? Like, people were stepping their game up with you and shit?
That hasn't happened as far... You talking about lower belts?
Any belts.
No, that hasn't happened until here recently.
So, I feel the same fucking way, where I don't know what's going on, but it feels like people at the gym... And not in a bad way.
Better, probably.
No, people are definitely getting better. But I feel like, not in a bad way, but I feel like people are trying to fucking kill me right now. And I don't know if it's just like a mental thing I'm going through, but yeah, I mean, I definitely...
Well, you definitely are one of the high marks at our gym, so...
Like, people just want to fucking get me, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to my entire jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you definitely dealt with that the whole time. Because you were definitely the highest...
But it makes you better, you know.
But yeah, no, I haven't experienced that until there's one individual in particular.
Who is it? You don't have to say their name.
No, he's a good kid. What is his name? Zach.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He goes hard, dude, and he's tiny. He's like $120,
yeah.
But the kid goes hard, dude.
Yeah.
Is he one of the brothers or whatever?
No. He trains under Professor Mike because he goes to MTSU.
Oh, okay.
But he's back for the summer, so but dude, he takes his training very seriously.
Yes, he does.
What belt is it?
So
he's a white belt.
He's white belt 1 stripe, but he's been training for like
2 stripes.
Oh, okay, but he's been training for like 8 months. And like I said, he takes it very seriously. That joke I came up with that I told you earlier about the weight training book, he actually triggered it because I walked into class and he was writing down his workout that he had just done. And so he monitors all that stuff. But anyways, so
yeah, that's really the only, you know, purple belts at our school and brown belts and black belts. They're a lot better than I am, so I didn't feel any kind of target on my back from them.
I feel like there's a target on your back, but not even just in the sense of people trying to get you, but like people are watching you more, and people, like, you're expected to know certain things and like stuff like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm starting to learn. The more deeper I get into it, is like, dude, even a black belt isn't going to know everything about every position. They're going to know a lot of things about the positions that they play and use, and they're going to know some things about positions they don't play and use, but they can't know everything. I mean, that's impossible.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important to like not pretend. And so like if you see like Felix will show stuff that I haven't done before, and like, yeah, it may be an omoplata, but he's doing it a different way or setting up different that I haven't seen. And like, I'm not afraid. Like if I'm drilling with someone, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go do this one slow. This is kind of new to me. Like, I don't give a fuck. I think that's important to like be okay with not knowing. Yeah, because Yeah.
That's kind of like baked into the cake in jiu-jitsu, though, you know? I mean, we're going to fucking find out.
Yeah.
I wish there was a stripper baked into the cake in jiu-jitsu, dude.
Yeah.
Your wife can come, dude. Jiu-jitsu.
She has. She did for a month. I want her to come back, to be honest, because, I mean, dude, it's done so much personally for my life. It's like I know it would do so much for her life, too.
It could, but also it couldn't. Like, like Erin has no interest in doing jiu-jitsu, and like even though I would like for her to know some. Sorry, I just touched Pitt's leg, and that was a little weird. I would like for I would like for her to be able to do it because I know it could benefit her, like self-defense wise and things like that. But also, I totally get someone just being like, "No, I'm not into it. Like, I'm not interested." But yeah,
How did you? So your wife recently tried.
Do you have kids?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Has 3 daughters.
3 daughters.
Dang, dude, you got that high T, bro.
Right?
Yeah. So what was her impressions on?
She liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and her sister came for a class, and she liked it.
And she had never tried it before, right?
No.
Oh, okay. But I'm sure you showed her.
Yeah. You know, I try to
Showed
get her
her
to
the
get
moves,
all
you know what I mean?
sort, mostly guard. I'm in her guard mostly. But anyway,
A lot of drilling in her close
tons
guard.
of drilling. You have no idea.
But she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both really enjoyed it. I keep asking her, like, you going to come back? She's like, I don't know.
What about your
It's such a-
daughters? Do they do it?
So, like, my oldest, from the time she was, like, 3, that's when I really started to get heavy into jiu-jitsu. You know, I was showing her stuff, but she kind of fell off of it. She didn't, you know, she just didn't take to it as much. But, like, I feel like when she was 6, she was much better than when she is now.
Yeah.
She stopped training. But
How old is
did
she
train?
now?
yeah, I used to train her.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
How old is she now?
She's 13.
Oh, okay, dang.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How old are you?
33.
Yikes, you started young.
Oh, yeah. It's that high T.
Wait,
High T, dude.
you were in the military when you had your first kid?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And how old was she when you went overseas?
She was 6 months old.
How hard was that?
I mean, it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
For sure. I missed a lot. I mean, that first year is huge, you know. But it's crazy because I came home mid-tour leave on her first
How
birthday.
tough is that?
It's tough. It's
To
tough.
come back and then have to go. How long do you get?
12 days.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No. It's all right. No, it's, it was, you know, it was, there are things, family is very important, you know, but for me at that time, I also felt that that was also important, you know, and you have to pay the man if you're gonna elevate it to that level. So that's just part of it. It is tough. But the cool thing is, I don't know how this happened. It's not something you can ever plan, but I never missed one of her birthdays.
oh, that's awesome.
Never. I mean, the day I got back home from mid-tour leave was her first birthday.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that was about as lucky as you can get.
I remember me and you were having a conversation like before class or something, and I asked you because I have a huge fascination with the military, and when I was younger, I like when I was 18, a fat fucking loser. My uncle was like, "You should go to the military," and he didn't serve in the military, but he's like, "You should go, you should go." So I did a ton of research, and I like would go back and forth, but I never did it, and I kind of regret it. But anyways, I asked you, I was like, "What made you join the military?" And you said the day 9/11 happened, you knew you were going. How old were you?
I was a freshman in high school.
So when that happened, you just knew
Yeah.
that's what you were going to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you join before you graduated from high school?
I
Or
had
committed
to
or
wait till
whatever?
I was old enough, so I signed up in between my junior and senior year.
Can't you do it when you're 17 and then like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. But
But you have to finish high school.
Right.
So you have to get, if you're not 18, you have to get your parents' permission. There's no way that was going to happen.
Oh, okay.
So I turned 18 and enlisted and didn't tell my family. You know, and then
you
went through
don't-
that whole year. I was like, I'm already signed up.
Oh,
ready
they
to
didn't
go.
know until
No.
like it was time for you to go.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They
That's
didn't.
Crazy.
So that's something that I went to 2 high school graduations recently. They announce And especially because it was like Memorial Day weekend, the kids that were going to the military, did they do that for you or no?
No.
Like, because normally in like the book they put what college people commit to or whatever, and yeah, I don't know. And there was not a lot of kids going to. There was like 2 of them.
There's not.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, I bet like when you did, I feel like a lot of people when 9/11 happened, a ton of people enlisted.
Oh yeah,
like playing.
I'm sure there's definitely more then.
Yeah.
Than there are now. But I mean, I think I read a statistic that since 2001, there's been exactly like 0.45% of the total population of the United States that has deployed. So that's an incredibly small number. You know, it's not even 0.5%.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
I mean, that takes a lot of courage. I know you are super humble about it because I said something about it taking courage, and you were like, you don't think so, but to me, I mean, to be a freshman in high school and know when something like that happens that you're joining the military, I think that takes a ton of courage.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Jiu-Jitsu.
What time do we got?
Well, we can go for like 10 more minutes or something.
You have a bandwidth issue?
No, Justin's just...
No, I was just checking because we're going to go.
I have to open the gym for open mat, so...
At 2?
Yeah.
What time is it? 1?
It's 1.
Okay.
So have you've been watching some more Worlds?
Yeah.
Just like highlights and stuff?
Yeah, on the Instagram stuff.
Do you have a favorite, like, Jiu-Jitsu athlete or anything?
He's not currently competing, but probably either Marcelo or Terere. You know, I really like the Alliance guys. I mean, they're fucking good.
Is there a reason you just like their style, or?
Well, you look at Terere and his guard passing and style of jiu-jitsu is what you see today.
Yeah,
like it's like pervasive, and he
Today.
was like today. Yeah,
today, motherfucker.
I mean, just you look at some of his old matches from like over 10 years ago, and just the way he passes and the way he attacks, and you see that now, and he was so far ahead of the curve on that, you know. And then guys like Marcelo kind of picked that torch up.
His lineage, Terere's lineage too, is like most of the head, like instructors or like people under him, but people who like looked like modeled their games after him.
Fabio Grisel, I think was a big.
I think Andre Galvao was either under him or
he's in that lineage for sure.
Yeah.
How do you think how nowadays I think it's changed than back in the day, but how important do you think lineage is? Do you think it is important or no?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel the same way. No. I mean, I think
it's important when it's important. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, Fabio Grisel is a fucking legend. You know, and the guys that he's produced have also become legends. So that lineage, sure, it might mean something. But I'm sure Fabio Grisel has also trained guys that are just, you know, want some fitness and, you know, some camaraderie, and you never know their names ever. So, no.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I agree with it. I think too many people put too much into lineage, and it's like, dude. And then there's certain people that just pay an association fee to be a part of a lineage, and it's like, that don't mean shit, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I don't understand about schools that open up with certain schools or under certain, you know. It's like, did you ever train with that guy, or you're just paying a fee and now you're in there? Which, I mean, I can't really say shit because I'm Gracie Baja, you know. But
do you think someone who comes from like the military and like structure and discipline that comes from the military, I feel like there's some of that. And granted, Jiu-Jitsu is like a martial art, and like that's like the old school way is like a militant almost in a lot of ways. Do you think that's
it's in the name? Yeah.
Do you think that's good or bad? Like,
That's the question.
like, do you feel like
Is the military good or what?
no. In the
militant mindset, do you think that's good to have in a jiu-jitsu school? Like extreme structure, extreme discipline.
Like a taekwondo school?
I mean,
I've
yeah,
never
in
been
a
to
lot
that,
of ways. I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at taekwondo, and they are like that, very regimented, and I mean, they're known for that. You know, just based on that style, it kind of has to be, you know, but it's also contributed to the death of that style in a lot of ways. The guys that innovate in taekwondo have moved on to other things, right? And are mostly MMA fighters where they're getting influenced by a lot of other things. So, no, I mean, I don't think it's great if you have that, you know, it just kills creativity.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
You know, Bruce Lee had this quote.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
What gym does he train at?
I know Jet Li. Jet Li.
No, Bruce Lee, and I'm going to paraphrase the shit out of this. But essentially, he talks about, you know, there's a good idea and people followed that, and it was, you know, fantastic. And then, you know, the leader dies, and then they write the shit down, and then that signals the death of that sport. You know, there's no more growth after that. So, I mean, he was talking about, you know, kung fu and karate just based on where he comes from, but I think that could be very dangerous.
Okay, you answered my question.
As far as sports, you don't want to kill the creative mind of the student.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I agree too.
I mean, dude, if you do the same repetitive structure of class and stuff, I mean, for me, it ruins the fun.
That being said, not everybody can handle that, right? So sometimes unlimited options is just as much as a hindrance as not enough options, right? So I mean,
You can't have an open mat every day.
right. So structure is not an inherently bad thing, but you know, if you get too carried away with it,
Too militant about it.
then there you go.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not gonna have, you know, results may vary.
I think now's a decent time to end it. I'll just say, number one, thank you for your service. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
You keep losers like us safe, so we appreciate it.
Not anymore. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, you did, and also I've enjoyed having you at the gym. You're one of my favorite training partners. So,
Thank you. Likewise.
appreciate it.
Why don't you guys kiss and get it over with?
Open mouth.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Now listen to this sick ass beat.
There you go.